It's the ABC Supply 500. Yes, 200 laps, 500 miles, and only 4 races remain in this 2019 season, and the top 4 in the championship are in the top 4 positions. To the left of your screen in the orange car, Scott Dixon with a good start. The yellow car is Simon Pagenaud, the Indy 500 champion. He's going for the inside on his teammate, and the Indy champ will take the lead into 1.
Charlie Kimball jumped onto the warm-up lane down there, and he passed about 8 cars down into the first corner, but Simon Pagenaud shows his speed right away.
But Alexander Rossi pretty well smoked on the front straightaway. Now Ryan Hunter-Reay is to the inside. Huge crash. Hunter-Reay, Sato. Oh no, and Rossi is in it.
A lot of cars. Rossi
Up in the fence is Rosenqvist.
This is disastrous for Rossi in the championship. His teammate was involved like he was last year. Sato. In turn 2, Sato's involved. Car upside down. Sato's car
on fire too.
So Ryan Hunter-Reay for the second year is involved in a really scary crash. Takuma Sato is upside down and that car is on fire. This is Felix Rosenqvist. His race is done.
Rosenqvist was up on top of the guardrail. All attention right now going to Sato's car. He got tangled with Hunter-Reay.
Hunter-Reay's out. He's okay. He's going to run over and see if he can help. They need to try to get Sato's car. Usually what they'll do is tilt it up on its side. It looks like the rear's propped up on Hunter-Reay's car, so there should be a pretty big space to tend to him. There's Hinchcliffe. He's getting out.
Second year in a row for James. He was also involved in that accident last year between Robert Wickens and Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Looks like Rossi's out of his car already. Huge championship implications for him.
There's Sato.
Sato's out. Great news.
With a special 10th anniversary helmet reflecting all of the teams he's driven for in IndyCar. He did not expect to scrape that helmet being upside down here at Pocono Raceway today. There's Alexander Rossi. He can't believe it.
That's the second year in a row that Hunter-Reay and Hinch, I think, was caught up in the accident last year. They're both out in a turn 2 accident, and it's really narrow down there. They rocket down the back straightaway, fan out, and the groove is so tight, everybody's trying to jockey for position, and they just got collected. Rosenqvist still sitting, and nobody's been in his car yet.
No safety over there, and he was up on top of the wall, grinding on top of the wall there for a little bit, so he is not really moving around, so they got to get a safety team over there ASAP.
His visor's up. He is moving in the cockpit. Here they come.
AMR safety team. They're getting there as quickly as they can. They just got stretched because there were so many cars in so many different locations.
And I'm guessing that they would have had some radio communication because I think they would have hustled much quicker there had they thought that Rosenqvist was in immediate need. They went to Sato, which was the right thing to do.
He looks like he's ready to get out now. They said code 1. It looked like they raised the 1 finger. Front of the car pretty tore up. It looks like it got up on, like I said, got up on top of the wall. We got a lot of angles to show you guys. Just guys getting real racy at the start of the event again. And
so watch Hunter-Reay in the yellow car. Hunter-Reay's going to make a move on Rossi, go to the inside. Sato goes to the outside. They're now 3 wide.
They just squeezed him.
Sato
just came
down
over
on Rossi.
Yeah, he just came down on top of Rossi and then swept everybody out. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
look at that,
man.
up in the fence. So very hard hit for Rosenqvist. Very, very lucky.
I'm so glad that Rosenqvist stayed out of the fence in terms of the whole car getting up there.
Oh, yeah.
So here we get a good head-on shot. I'm not sure what Sato thought he was clear maybe and tried to get a draft off Dixon.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing in that situation. He just kind of turned down across those guys, and there was a car in the middle. Rossi was in the sandwich.
Oh, we have an onboard
in the middle of it, so we'll get an onboard with Rossi. Look at this. Already banging wheels already, so close. But here, watch Sato, and then he just turns on him.
Oh, and Hunter-Reay was kind of tight
Rossi
down below.
No steering for Rossi now.
I think everybody was trying to go after the single car toe, the draft from Scott Dixon. You had 3 wide and 1 in front. Hunter-Reay on board.
Passing his teammate here, so he's on the inside clear of him. Then watch Sato he tries to shoot that gap, and it was not there.
Not on at all.
I would say at this point, Ryan Hunter-Reay saying, I might be done with Pocono. Two really scary crashes in 2 years.
Sato collected just about everybody, and it sends Rosenqvist up. So similar to Wickens last year. He's so lucky that that didn't get into the fence.
Coming to green. That sounds good, doesn't it? After a 45-minute red flag period here at Pocono Raceway. Welcome back, folks. Lee Diffie, Townsend Bell, Paul Tracy, Robin Miller, Kevin Lee, Dylan Welsh with the action for you today. And this is the run home. 4 races remaining, 3 after today to finish off this championship. But first of all, let's finish this 500 miles. No, not yet. Restart waved off.
I'm wondering if they felt Pagenaud went too early on the restart. That's confirmed from race control. Pagenaud jumping the restart. Let's watch here. They said that the restart zone was when you hit the NTT IndyCar banner. And yeah, Pagenaud was well before that. So generally they'll give him another chance here. And if he jumps it again, they might send him to the back.
It wasn't super early, but we'll give it another go here. You would think they'd want to get these guys spread out a little bit, go a little bit earlier and spread everybody out, but we'll see this time around. Make him wait. The longer you wait, the more of a draft there is, the more crowded everybody gets.
We'll see if Newgarden can repay the favor on Pagenaud from the start.
And that start and restart zone was actually moved further back around turn 3 by some 150 feet. Making it earlier, making sure the cars come to green more at full speed.
Yeah, it looks like the rolling speed this time is a little quicker, Townsend, than last time. It looked slow last time.
Yep. Outside wall from the drivers' meeting, there's an NTT IndyCar logo.
2 Penske teammates at the front. Simon Pagenaud and championship leader Joseph Newgarden. They just so happen to be the top 2 in the championship. Look at Scott Dixon in third. The orange and blue car right around the outside of Joseph Newgarden. Now it's a drag down the front straight here at Pocono.
Perfect jump from Dixon as he's side by side with Newgarden. Now he's clear. Dixon slots in behind Pagenaud. Further back, they start to fan out as Ferrucci is dealing with Graham Rahal, who gets around to the outside.
Graham Rahal sweeps around the outside. Ferrucci files in. Bourdais right on his teammate's gearbox.
Look at Colton Herta, this white car here, tucking in behind the gold and black Arrow Honda of Marcus Ericsson. Herta got a nice restart.
Sigh of relief as they get through turn 2 on the restart, but Will Power is challenging in the silver car to the outside of Tony Kanaan, and Charlie Kimball goes to the inside. Kanaan loses 2 spots in 1 corner, and now Marco Andretti coming up on Tony Kanaan. So Kanaan really, that's very uncharacteristic for Kanaan to get shuffled back on a restart. He's normally going forward in a bold way.
Marco Andretti was up on the high side in that NASCAR tire activator that they laid down to improve the grip. That looks like it's going to be a factor today, that they'll be able to use 2 grooves.
Simon Pagenaud, Scott Dixon, Joseph Newgarden, Graham Rahal, Santino Ferrucci, and Sebastian Bourdais, the top 6. Pagenaud's going to easily cover this because here comes Pagenaud down the front stretch. Simon is already into turn 1. So healthy gap there, no problem.
Look right here. Is that Newgarden maybe going to sweep around the outside?
It's Ferrucci.
Wow. Ferrucci.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Inside Scott Dixon down the back straight.
Terrific.
This kid loves ovals.
We've seen this in the past where pitting early on the sequence is an advantage to get out on those fresh tires when guys are still circulating on the old tires. Ferrucci will be behind Pagenaud and effectively second in the race once the cycles are done. Here's Newgarden.
Front wing adjustment for Joseph Newgarden. Started on the pole, really quick stop. Back out. The leader, Simon Pagenaud, is long gone. We'll see if Newgarden, where he comes out in relation to Scott Dixon. Dixon will be racing him as he comes through turn 1.
He's going to come out, and these guys are going to sweep around the outside. Maybe Sebastian Bourdais might get him on the exit right here as Graham Rahal goes around the outside, and here comes Bourdais down the back straightaway in the draft. Lost a lot of positions on that. Yellow.
Spencer Piggott. Spencer Piggott in the Ed Carpenter Racing Auto Geek car. And
Look on that bump I was complaining about all day.
Did he make it in the pit lane on time for that yellow? He's way down at the end, so I would assume he did. That's a real good stroke of luck right there.
I think I heard Spencer Pigot saying something about on the radio, I've been complaining about the same thing I've been complaining about all day. What a shame.
Exit of turn 1. We'll hopefully get a replay of this. Super easy to just get offline, and then you're kind of in the clag, and the car just understeers.
Pitted on lap 35, so he's on fresh tires there, shaking his head.
Yeah, he's into the wall way early, so hopefully if we get another angle of this, but he's way early, so I think you might have missed the line, Townsend, and just been up in the gray area in the marbles, and once you're up there, you can't get the car turned.
Green, green, green is the call. Let's go back racing. And Simon Pagenaud, the Indy 500 champion, leads this race and leads it well. But look who's doing the chasing. His teammate Will Power, a two-time winner here, has come from the back of this field, right around on the high side. Doesn't quite get to the front yet. Will!
Super aggressive moves by Will Power, racing his teammate, who's now squarely in the championship hunt. He backs off there.
Whoa, Pagenaud's car looks so fast on the straights. If you think about the jump he had on the start on Newgarden, now Pagenaud's checking out and going to try to reclaim the gap that he established in the first stint. Further back, Marcus Ericsson went way big on the outside going into turn 1. They were 4 wide.
Another good run by Power coming off onto the front straightaways in the draft again. Will he make the move? Will he force him to the outside? Inside he goes as he makes the move. So this is the first time Pagenaud has lost the lead today.
Will Power told me earlier this week he is very cognizant of the fact that his two teammates are in the championship hunt and he will help them however he can. It doesn't look like that at the moment.
Newgarden, who right now would lead bigger, have a bigger lead coming out of the championship. Here comes Pagenaud.
He got a good run off a 3. His car is really good. He's staying closer to the back of the cars than anybody so far, so he definitely wants to lead. Just like Indianapolis, he likes it out front.
Well, his car just seems crazy fast like it did in Indianapolis as well. Nobody appears to have the straight line speed that 22 Penske truck rental car does right now.
James Hinchcliffe, by the way, is back out on track. That number 5 Arrow Schmidt-Peterson Honda is circulating. Here it is. Good sign to see Hinch back out on track.
It's entirely possible as Pagenaud's now in traffic with Hinchcliffe really slow out of turn 3. Here comes Will Power. Dixon to pit lane, but Power has a run.
Will Power timed that to perfection with the lapped car. Hinchcliffe is many, many laps down, nearly 50 laps down. Will Power slides it in to turn 1. Here comes Dixon on pit lane.
And all that he said, or all that Scott said, was that the car was pretty good, so no changes expected here for Dixon as he peels off from 3rd, 4 tires and fuel. Graham Rahal in behind him as well, a little bit further down pit road, struggling to keep that race car up inside the top 10 here as he was fading late. 4 tires and fuel for him as well.
And that little checkup between Power and Pagenaud, and now they're in traffic with Marco Andretti. When this cycle happens, Dixon could absolutely be in the lead.
With a slick pit stop, here they come. Here comes both Penske's coming in side by side. Oh, that's Marco. Marco's got to turn in.
That was discussed in the driver's meeting. Look at Marco, so smart, pointing out of his cockpit, I need to get to my box. Kevin, they're coming to you.
So Simon Pagenaud is coming in a couple of laps earlier than expected. About 10 laps ago, Kyle Moyer's call was lap 73 or 74. We also see Colton Herta, who's made a nice charge after a pit stop mistake. His first time, he's coming in and out. Pagenaud has Fresh Firestone, Sunoco, he's out, Herta, and then Marco Andretti right behind him.
Where's Dixon? Dixon's gone. Dixon's in the lead, and so is Ferrucci.
The undercut, the traffic, these two guys in the Hondas have just shot by the Chevys with the undercut and the little bit of traffic that held those guys up.
So Will Power is still out, yet to see him pit. But remember, he pitted several laps different to his teammate Simon Pagenaud. etc. This is...
Here's the replay. This is what lost Simon Pagenaud the lead of the race. James Hinchcliffe very slow. Power gets a run. Pagenaud had to check up in turn 3 as Scott Dixon came to pit lane, and that probably shaved a second or two off that lap for Pagenaud, which is a massive drop on a super speedway. There's Hinchcliffe trying to stay out of the way, but I think he ended up just slowing up Pagenaud more than he intended.
Nothing Hitch could do. He's doing everything he can do, but this is heads-up driving by Marco Andretti, letting Pagenaud know, hey, I got to get over. Pagenaud smartly backs out, but that also cost him more time as well.
I'm wondering if that was a masterful call on the fly by Mike Hull and Chris Simmons to bring Scott Dixon in there. Oh, big crash. Is that Colton Herta? It is.
And I don't think Power's come to the pits yet. That's really going to hurt him.
What has happened to Colton Herta?
Had a good run going, and just glad you're okay.
Lost it. It looks like off of turn 2.
I think it's off of turn 2. You're right, Paul. 88 stop, but just between turn 3, you can see the
looks like
serpentine of tire marks there. He had contact on the inside wall.
Nasty gap in the fence right there, so looks like he might have.
He lost it in traffic.
Yeah, it just got loose, clipped the outside, but I think he might have got in the gap in the wall, which is not a good situation.
He was following Joseph Newgarden.
There's the first hit. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, right into that gap, look.
Into the
if he'd had more speed there, that could have been more nasty than it was, but it was all scrubbed off by then. And here comes Alexander Rossi.
So the lengthy repair that's been going on in the Andretti Autosport camp, not only for Rossi's car, but also for Ryan Hunter-Reay. The team have been worked overtime today.
Points have changed around. Rossi now is 28 points behind, has moved back into second. Pagenaud is now 41 behind by losing the lead to those two cars.
All right, this is kind of surreal stuff for Santino Ferrucci. He sits behind a 5-time champion and ahead of the reigning Indy 500 champion. Incredible stuff from the Dale Coyne Racing rookie. Ready to come to green. And this could be a 20-lap shootout to get to lap 101 and beat the rain. Green flag flies. Let's go here in Pocono.
Dixon gets the jump, but Pagenaud with another great run, making a move on Ferrucci on the outside. Look at Will Power diving to the inside.
Will Power wants to get back. He's behind his teammate, but not right there in the corner. Not a great restart by Ferrucci, but look at Dixon up high a little bit.
Look at Ed Carpenter. Ed Carpenter right around the outside. He's put himself into the top 5. The red car.
3 wide at the back there.
Ed makes a move on Joseph Newgarden. That's for 4th place. Ed Carpenter on a charge.
Power going by his teammate. That's not going to help the point situation. At some point, he's going to need to play the teammate to Newgarden. He's the championship leader.
That move, I was watching our live points timing. That took 2 points off Newgarden's lead. Power passing Newgarden for 5th place.
Inside move there. Looked like Charlie Kimball on Sebastian Bourdais.
Rossi still in the pit lane waiting to fire up. They're sitting there on pit lane.
Whoa, Bourdais!
He didn't appreciate being passed. He wanted to get that position back. Now Charlie's back on the inside.
Charlie does the over-under, but he's not close enough up.
Woo! From 2nd place, here is Santino Ferrucci.
And they'd love to have a good stop here. Nice smooth stop to keep that 2nd place track position they have right now as Santino hits his marks. Firestone tires going on here. Speedway fuel as well. And a little bit of a hiccup taking off, but Ferrucci down away. Ed Carpenter is behind him as well, as you see there, continuing his strong run. Nice smooth stop for them as Carpenter pulls away.
Great stop for Ferrucci, as you can see Dixon's guys on pit lane getting ready. Ferrucci with a 6.8 second stop. He could very well take the lead on the undercut, but here comes number 9.
Oh, a little lockup as he comes in. Will he be able to get the undercut, Ferrucci?
You imagine that, if the Clydell Manufacturing Honda can do it for Dale Coyne Racing. Here's Dixon's stop.
And listen to when he pulls away here. He's been having some issues bogging down once he drops the car off the air jack, so they're telling him not to be on the limiter when he pulls away. He pulls away flawlessly there. Nice stop with a front wing change for Dixon.
Now we see Ferrucci in the lower right. He's on the front straightaway at full speed. Here comes Dixon. This is going to be close, Paul, down in turn 1.
I think he's got him. He's got enough gap there, but Ferrucci now just needs to draft back up. But we'll see where Pagenaud comes out now. Pagenaud is going to run 2 laps further and try to run fast, run rich. But here he comes. He went 1 lap further. Will this help him or will it hurt him?
Guys here, they're going to help you out a little bit.
So Kyle Moyer talking Simon Pagenaud in. He has to go around Sebastian Bourdais' tires. Will Power also was just told by Roger Penske, Pagenaud is pushing. You've got to push for this lap. Another couple of laps before Power has to pit. Front wing adjustment. Remember, he's been really struggling in traffic. Let's see where Pagenaud comes back out in relation to Dixon.
Dixon start finish line.
A little tight to get in the box. He had to come around.
Going to be close with Ferrucci.
It will be close. Ferrucci at speed. Pagenaud trying to get to speed. Here comes Ferrucci. He might get him on the back straightaway.
He might get him by turn 2, but it's going to be tight. He's got the draft. He's up to speed.
Oh,
he's drafting up. It's going to be a late pass, but I think he's going to play this one smart.
Oh, tricky turn 2.
Tell you what, Ferrucci's got a good head on his shoulders. He played that smart.
All right, Dick, all right, get around on him.
Still got cold tires. So he's got on hot tires. He's going to get a run here.
Looked pretty good there. It's very hard to stay close off of turn 3. He had a 4-wheel slide up to the wall, but Pagenaud's so fast on the straights.
Credit to Team Penske and the 22. And Ferrucci, they're not doing anything desperate. Still a long way to go in this race. And meanwhile, while the focus is on them, Scott Dixon has just taken off. He's got a good couple of seconds up the road. There he is on these guys.
Yeah, that really helped Dixon on Ferrucci to be held up there with Pagenaud coming out of the pits. It gives Dixon some breathing room.
A big black cloud still rolling in here off of turn 3 and turn 2.
You talk about big black,
I'm
man.
telling you,
it's
it's
like dark blue.
It's coming.
Back at Pocono and a new race leader. Will Power, a 2-time winner here. And as we went to the break, you saw him heading to pit lane. Made that stop. Pitted some 5 laps after Scott Dixon and takes control of this race.
He came out on fresh tires, tracked down Dixon, turned the fastest lap of the race in the process, and just had a brilliant run out of turn 3. Just got inside for turn 1 to make the move.
He's the first guy to make the overcut work. He ran about 3 laps longer than everybody. Jumped a couple guys on the pit stop, got out behind Dixon and cranked it up on fresh tires. And now has taken the lead and taken off.
By the way, that fastest lap was 215 miles an hour. Under caution here at Pocono. And we've just received word, that's why I was pausing, just received word. It's not actually for rainfall on the track, it's lightning within that 7-mile radius.
And it's going to be rainfall shortly thereafter. As you can see, the darkness looming coming out of the west. But Paul, you called it. Lightning generally precedes
and listen,
the moisture.
There's another aspect to this too, is that the medical chopper needs to leave in case of an emergency. And that is the reason right now.
We cannot underscore that this track has lost a fan to lightning in the past during a NASCAR event, so they have to stop this race if there is lightning in the area.
You can clearly see the seam of the weather, if you will, tale of 2 stories really at both ends of the track. If I look down to turn 1, it looks like a perfect summer day. There's that medical helicopter standing ready.
And look, yesterday, there was the reason why practice 1 never eventuated, because where the medical chopper was coming from, it couldn't take off to get here. So there's going to be no on-track activity in that regard. And now it's the reverse. If indeed there was a crash serious enough where one of the drivers needed to be airlifted to hospital, medical chopper couldn't leave the facility because of lightning in the area.
13 straight wins now. Will Power has won an IndyCar race. You saw while Robin was talking to Jofas just a moment ago when he was told by Joe Hodge from IndyCar, you got the Firestone hat. It's official. Your rain dance worked, even though it hasn't started raining, but it is coming.
It looks really bad, actually, and I thought if this cloud cover comes over and it doesn't rain us, it's just not my year. But over the moon, man. I had a few issues during the race, but we just kept coming back. So full credit to the team. Great car. I kind of just hung there, saved fuel. When it was time to go, I went, and yeah, I was so determined. I really wanted to win, man. Like it would be my 13th year in a row winning races, so I actually had been thinking about that. But I simply just wanted to win a race for the team and for Verizon. You know, these guys have worked their ass off all year, and you know, just haven't had the results.
You told me you kind of changed your mindset a couple of races ago, considering where things were in the championship.
Yeah, I just let go, man. Just let go. I was like, it's not going to happen for me this year, so just whatever. Just still did my homework and worked hard at it, and yep, we definitely had the car today and great stops, and the strategy was right. So man, over the moon. I've honestly worked harder for this year than any other year. Like, I was very determined, and it just didn't work for me.
So you fall back to the back, taking debris in that early caution. How did you get back to the front?
Yeah, well, you know, I passed a few cars, saved a lot of fuel. Obviously, we topped off, so we had laps in hand, and then would really push through the sequences, which gave us, that's how we jumped more cars. Obviously, we caught a great yellow, moved us to second, then we caught a bad yellow, and that moves us back to seventh. But the car was fast enough. I knew if we were in that top five, we'd have a shot at the win.
Relief, congratulations. Now, go get out of the rain.
Absolutely, thank you.
Watch the Bommarito Automotive Group 500, Saturday, August 24th at 8 p.m. on NBCSN.